Now, another issue. Why we do not see so much innovation, even though we are sure that innovation or entrepreneurial thinking is so important. And this is where I have to talk about innovator's dilemma, or the real innovator's dilemma. Here is the thing. Any business, any firm, any manager can and usually should maintain doing business as usual. Business as usual means let's continue doing what brought us success in the first place. So oil and gas companies in Alberta keep on getting oil from under the ground, no matter what the price of oil is, simply because this is their business as usual. This is what made them great in the first place. This is what made CEO a CEO in the first place. The easiest way to destroy your career is to move from business as usual department towards some innovative spin-off unit that is destined to disrupt everything else. If you want to become a CEO of a large established company, usually you have to grow in the ranks of traditional functional structure doing business as usual. On the other hand, a company or a manager can engage in entrepreneurial actions. The entrepreneurial actions is all about trying crazy new things in order to see maybe it will work. Unfortunately, entrepreneurial actions have huge variability in outcomes. Their results are highly unreliable. Business as usual leads to moderate but reliable outcomes. Entrepreneurial actions, radical new products, getting to totally different countries, using radically new processes, all of these things are entrepreneurial actions, are essence of strategic entrepreneurship or entrepreneurial thinking. The problem is that they lead to highly unreliable outcomes, and the chances to go out of business if you are doing entrepreneurship is way higher than the chances of going out of business if you are doing business as usual. So, for example, the companies that are doing entrepreneurial things, this is their distribution of outcomes. Everyone who gets to the left-hand side of the distribution, which is very, very high, which is very, very fat, in case of entrepreneurial actions, this left-hand side, all of these companies are failing. On the other hand, of those guys who were doing business as usual, only a small percentage are failing. So entrepreneurship, if you don't use proper safeguards that we are going to discuss a lot in the modules, if you're not using proper entrepreneurial thinking tools to manage risks and to make sure that you're failing early, failing fast, and not getting somewhere here to the really, really left-hand side of performance distribution. So entrepreneurial actions on average do not work. Of course, one can say that all the Snapchats, Airbnbs, Ubers, Facebooks of the world, they started with somebody doing something radical. They started with somebody dropping out of college. So if you keep on working on your college degree, you're doing business as usual, which leads to reliable but not great outcomes, but reliable outcomes. And this is the proper thing to do. There are good things why businesses are doing business as usual, why managers are doing business as usual, because this is what they have to do. It is a crazy idea to drop out of college in order to start something new. Of course, again, all these great companies started with somebody doing something radical. And, of course, a lot of known founders, they dropped out of college in order to continue their startup. But we have to understand that this is survivalship bias. We see only those companies that did survive and become great. For every Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs, there will be thousands and thousands of other potential entrepreneurs who drop out of college in order to start something and never finish it, or never reach success. We simply don't see all of them. So, the real innovator's dilemma is the following. On the one hand, business as usual is safe. On the other hand, while entrepreneurial actions are unreliable, are unsafe. However, with time, business as usual stops working. In the long term, only entrepreneurial actions ensure growth and prosperity. That's why entrepreneurial thinking, it has to be part of core curriculum of any MBA program. Business as usual, increasing operational efficiency, doing great things in finance, all of them are very, very important for the short term. in the long run, business as usual will be disrupted by new technologies, by new business models, by something happening, rise of protectionism or nationalism, by coronavirus, and so on. Coronavirus basically shows us that we are unprepared for entrepreneurial actions if business as usual does not work. So the real innovator's dilemma is that business as usual in the long term, even in medium term, will not work anymore, but entrepreneurial actions lead to highly unreliable outcomes, and usually we don't know what to do about them, how to approach entrepreneurial thinking in such a way that it is reliable, in such a way that we don't risk the destiny of our business.